Welcome to Gloomhaven, an entirely new project. This game has been in early access on Steam for quite a while, but it is coming out tomorrow on the 20th of October 2021. And if you opt into the beta of the open access, you can actually check out the tutorial and the campaign mode already. So I was planning to do that. And despite having played quite a bit of the board game, both through Vassal and other online clients and also in person, I would like to check out the tutorial here as well. So let's start with that, shall we? The basics. Taking the first steps in the boots of a mercenary is never easy. Start the tutorial to learn the very basics of Gloomhaven's mechanics. Seems like there's quite a few of those. Blade in the Night. All those are for the Brute and the Scoundrel too. Attack modifiers. I mean, sure, let's do these. See how long this takes. I know the rules are rather complex, so they might actually take a while.
Welcome, Guildmaster. I'm the guild trainer, and I'm here to guide you through setting up your own mercenary guild. Let's go.
Also, I'm sorry that happened, but the... The image seems to be stuck. Is that true? I don't know what's going on. Why is the image stuck at the game screen? So... yeah. That's better. Alright. So, we're back in the game. We just had a small dialogue there. Before we get into the action, you'll want to acquaint yourself with how to adjust your view on the battlefield. WASD to pan the camera, Q and E to rotate the camera. Oh, it's in steps though, the rotation. It's not a free rotation. Interesting. The WASD seems to be free though, yeah. Mouse wheel to zoom in or out. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so I have more of a top-down view if I'm zoomed out all the way. More of an over-the-shoulder view like this. How's our brute look? Kinda cool. In Gloomhaven you control a party of mercenaries. Each are equipped with a deck of ability cards. These cards are how your mercenaries will explore dungeons, fight enemies and loot treasure. At the beginning of each round, the first thing to do is to select 2 cards. Yeah. In this tutorial, the Brute has just 3 cards at his disposal, and you can see highlighted on the left, Grab and Go, Trample and Provoking Roar. Provoking Roar is grayed out to indicate that it is currently discarded. Okay. For the sake of the tutorial. So for now, let's just select the 2 cards the Brute has available. Do I do that or do I press continue first? Okay, select Trample. And how do I select the other one? Oh. See the question mark next to the Brute's portrait? No. I don't. Oh, see how the question mark has changed into a number. This shows as an initiative, because we selected Trample first, which has an initiative of 72. The number next to the first card you selected determines the character's initiative for the round. The lower the number, the earlier in the round the character will act. Since there are no other characters visible right now, it will immediately be the Brute's turn anyhow. Grab and Go. And selection. So now it's my turn, because it's my initiative step. Time to choose some actions. Each half of the card represents an action, comprised of 1 or more abilities. Right? So we have an upper half and a lower half on both cards. You get to use 2 actions per turn, and you can pick any one of the 4 card halves on the left to use as your first action. But note that you must then use the opposite side of the other card for your second. For example, here you can choose either the top half of Trample or the bottom half of Grab and Go. Or the bottom half of Trample and the top half of Grab and Go. There's nothing for the Brute to do in this room, so you'll want to proceed through the door to see what lies beyond with a move ability. Grab and Go's bottom half lets the Brute move 4 hexes, which is enough to get through the door. That's a jump as well. This is a very good card. This is not a level 1 card, I think, right? Because move 4 and jump, and then attack 2 all... Oh, it's a burn card. Oh, that's a bit different than in the actual board game. This symbol, but it means the same, I suppose. You notice that this card will not go to the discarded pile after usage, but rather the burned pile, from which cards cannot be recovered by resting, but can be certain recover abilities. Yeah. We can move forward with this too, and it's not a burn card. Select the highlighted doorway hex. 1, 2, 3. Can I move after that too? Because I have 1 move left. Open door. Okay, yeah, I have 1 move left. So if I click somewhere, it seems like it doesn't just end my movement phase, but just uses up that many movement hexes, right? This room contains your first enemy, a bandit guard. Like player characters, monsters also select actions for their turn. Let's find out what this bandit is playing to do this round by hovering over his portrait. Yeah, and enemies do that, or opponents do that, right when you enter a room, drawing their cards, or playing their cards rather. I can hover over him. What's he have? Do I just see 1? Oh, move 1, attack 3. I get it. Okay. Whilst hovered, you can see the bandit's intentions this round. He plans to move and attack. Whereas player characters get 2 actions per turn, monsters only get 1, albeit often with multiple abilities within. Okay. Notice how this bandit has a lower initiative than the Brute, and would have acted before the Brute this round had he been visible. As it currently is the Brute's turn, however, you'll get to finish this turn before the bandit can act. Let's get the Brute close enough to use the attack on Trample's top half as the second action for this turn. So I can move 1 more. Confirm movement. Now that you've finished using Grab and Go for the turn, it is discarded. Sure, time to attack. We have a Pierce 2. He doesn't have any armor though, I think, right? 5 health. It's just left clicks all around, it seems. Confirm targets. Whenever you attack, an attack modifier is drawn from a character's modifier deck, and that value is applied to your attack. In this case, you can see above the bandit's guard that a +0 modifier was drawn. Oh, I can also see how many modifiers of each kind are still in the deck. That's nice. Okay, base damage. For this tutorial, we will only have +0 modifiers in effect to keep things simple. Fair enough. Click and turn to continue. Now it's the bandit guard's turn. He intends to move and then perform a melee attack for 3 damage. We have 4 health, or was that 4 stand for? I think. He will simply forgo moving, yeah, because he doesn't need to. Ouch! While monsters always take damage directly to their hit points, whenever a player character is damaged, you are presented with 3 options. Firstly, you can simply take the damage to your character's hit point total. However, if this is reduced to 0, the character is exhausted, which means they can no longer act this scenario. If all of your mercenaries are exhausted, you will lose this scenario. Secondly, you can choose to burn 2 discarded ability cards instead of receiving the damage. If you burn a card, it can no longer be recovered by resting. However, if you were to burn 2 of the Brute's cards here, he would not have enough cards left for the following turn, and thus would be exhausted too. Finally, you can choose to burn one available card. This option is grayed out as all of the Brute's cards are currently discarded. It's usually wise to take the damage over burning cards if possible, lest you run out of cards to finish the scenario with. For now, let's opt to take the 3 damage. Receive damage. The bandit's turn is now over, as he was the last character to act. It is the end of the round and a new round begins. Well, I should try and go before the bandit now, otherwise he'll attack me and kill me, I suppose. During ability card selection, if you have at least 2 discarded cards, then you may perform a long or short rest to recover some of them. All of the Brute's ability cards are currently discarded. Long rest doesn't count as a card, and as such he will have to rest to continue. Short rest will burn one of your... That's interesting that you... Yeah, no. Short rest, I can do that at the end of the turn, yeah. So short rest actually happens at the end of the turn, not at the end of your turn, right? That's interesting. I think we did that wrong a lot of the time in the board game. Losing it for the rest of the scenario, but will recover all other discarded cards before continuing your turn as normal. Long rest takes up the whole turn and is used instead of selecting 2 ability cards, giving the character an initiative of 99. However, you not only get to choose which card to burn instead of being it at random, but the character will perform a heal 2 action and refresh all item cards. Choosing to long rest here would be certain death if the bandit draws an attack card for the round, as the Brute has neither health nor cards to spare. So let's choose to short rest. Yeah, once per short rest you can opt to redraw the random card to burn at the cost of 1 damage, but with the Brute only on 1 health, this isn't an option. Yeah, it's going dark red to indicate it is burned. In exchange, Trample and Provoking Roar have been returned. Both the Brute and the Bandit are near death, so it is crucial to go as early as possible. Remember, the first card you choose determines the initiative, so let's choose Provoking Roar, because that's our lowest one. Lowest initiative one, that is, and selection. They have a 50, thank God. Now that we're in the same room as the Bandit, we can see that our enemies draw their ability cards each round after the players, so you won't know what they'll be doing or what their initiatives will be until this point in each round. It appears the Bandit was planning to once again use a move and an attack. Let's get him. So, select the top half of Trample. Sure. Confirm targets. Got him. Do you see that gold on the floor that the Bandit left behind? To pick it up, you need to use a loot ability. One important rule of Gloomhaven to bear in mind is that you don't automatically loot treasure unless you finish your turn on it. If you want it, make sure to pick it up before the scenario ends. Loot abilities can also appear on ability cards, but the easiest way to collect it is to end your turn on the hex that contains the gold pile. Oh, Provoking Roar doesn't have a move ability. This is where default actions come in handy. To the left and right of the central initiative value are 2 small default action buttons. These allow the character to perform a melee attack for 2 instead of a top action, or a default move of 2 instead of a bottom action. How do I select this? Oh, can I click this? Yeah. Confirm movement. Since you only need to move 1 hex for the Brute to reach the gold, you can skip the remaining movement. End turn.
Great work. Not only did you vanquish the lone bandit guard, you've even managed to pick up a few pieces of gold.
Lovely.
With the basics covered, it's now time to introduce you to some slightly more dangerous scenarios.
Victory. Okay, so I suppose that was just the basics, grab and go. You know how to get about, that's good. Now it's time to learn the important things, the killing and looting your enemies. Didn't we already do that? I guess we can also like move through these a little bit faster. Since, yeah, I mean, might be for your benefit too.
Welcome to your first training mission.
Yeah.
You've learned the basics, but now you must help the gravely wounded brute deal with a bandit archer elite. A stronger enemy with greater stats than normal.
So, I know the rules already, but I'm doing this at a, you know, reasonable pace for your benefit too. Also because I want to see how this software version teaches it.
With only a single hit point remaining, any amount of damage getting through will cause the brute to become exhausted. As such, you will have to avoid any incoming damage by burning cards. For the sake of training, the attack modifier decks will all be +0s, so don't worry about those for now. Your objectives to start are: take down the archer with a single attack. Loot the gold she drops. Now surely you can handle that.
Right, so I need to do 6 damage. She has 6 health, 2 movement, 3 attack and 3 range. Oh, we can also see their attack modifier deck. That's kinda neat. There's also traps that only do 1 damage though, treasure chest. What do we have? Shield bash, attack 4 and stun. It's a burn card that could work in the long run, but we're supposed to kill her with a single attack. Spare dagger has an attack on the bottom too. Overwhelming assault, there we go. It's a burn card with 6 damage and 2 XP. Grab and go. So I want to do shield bash first and then overwhelming assault, so that I get the 15 initiative too. Oh, 14! What? But created 3 damage trap and an adjacent enemy hex to the closest enemy, but first she's moving and attacking, so I lose, right? Wait, what? Oh, we're supposed to burn a card to avoid the damage. I see. I can't. Burn 1 available card. Probably grab and go. Right, she's also creating a 3 damage trap. And now we get the overwhelming assault. Do 6 damage.
Overwhelming
Bosh.
assault is a powerful card, but such power comes at a cost. Actions like overwhelming assault's top half, with the flaming card icon in the corner, cause the card to be burned once used, meaning you can't use it again in this scenario. Time to grab that gold.
Yeah, and I'll just do the default movement. Skip movement and turn. Right.
Good job. With no enemies left and your objectives complete, the scenario normally would have ended already, leaving that chest behind. However, for the sake of training, I'm going to set you another objective. Loot the chest. Before you rush headlong into that trap, you might want to heal up a bit first. I'd suggest taking a long rest, which will let you heal too, and recover enough discarded cards, allowing you to withstand the 2 damage from the trap and reach the chest.
Like earlier, when the archer was placing this new trap, it said on that card, you place the new trap as close to the next enemy as possible, right? But the archer was here, I was here. There were actually 2 hexes that were equally close to me, and that's this one and this one. And as far as I know, as the rules are written, at least in the board game, if that's the case, if they are both equidistant, It's not actually the AI that chooses, but it's the players that choose. It seems to be different in this game. And that can make quite the difference, because in cases where stuff just isn't clear from the instructions on enemies' cards, being able to choose as players can actually be quite beneficial. So we want to do a long rest and selection. So perform long rest. Which one do I want to burn? I guess the shield bash, it doesn't really matter. So now I choose this and this, and then I just take the move action here. I'll take a damage from the trap, but that's fine because I healed through the long rest. Receive 1 damage. Oh, and then I can attack or something. Skip attack. End the turn on the chest, and we get the Boots of Striding. During your movement, add +2 move to a single movement. Worth 20 gold. Lovely. Victory.
Ooh, those Boots of Striding will come in handy next time you need a little extra mobility. Right. On to the next part of your training.
That was the second one. Light on your feet. Combine the skills you've learned to take down the bandit archer. You'll need some extra help to get across the nasty traps.
So, you've learned about the basic attack and move abilities, but this time we're going to use some abilities with additional effects.
Okay.
A move action with a jump effect will help you here. Jump allows you to cross tiles containing obstacles or enemies, and even move over traps without triggering them, provided you can reach an empty hex to land on.
I see an empty hex.
Those Boots of Striding you picked up last time can be used to increase a move ability by 2 hexes. That'll enable you to get up close and personal this turn.
I like that it continues on with the same character and the same state and the same items. I mean, it beams us to a new room, I suppose, but yeah, we get to make use of those Boots of Striding now. That's neat.
You don't have the damage to take her out in one go, but if you act fast, you can apply the disarm condition to her before she can attack. Your objectives for this first round are: use a jump movement to get across the traps unscathed, disarm the archer before she attacks. Good luck.
It's interesting, too, that in the first tutorial mission I had to read quite a bit myself, but in these it is all voiced. I wonder if that's gonna be different in the first one, in the full release tomorrow. It's a feature of the beta still. So, we have a Provoking Roar, which has an attack and a disarm. That's neat. And we have a Leaping Cleave, which is a good idea because it gives us jump. And together with our boots we have 5 movement then. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. So Provoking Roar and Leaping Cleave. Right. He chooses initiative 44, move 1, attack 3 at range 4. So he could actually move 1 forward and hit us, but we're going to be doing that first. How do I activate this? Do I do that after I've activated the jump? Ah, there we go. Okay. Use item. So now, why is this in white? Confirm movement. I'm jumping, yeah. That's a neat animation. And then we'll do a disarm attack, which means the opponent... Oh, we want to skip the rest of the movement, I suppose. The opponent can do everything besides use their attack on the next turn. End the turn.
You did it! Not only did you get a decent hit in with provoking roar, but thanks to the disarm condition you applied, the archer couldn't attack for the turn. She's low on health now, so you should be able to finish her off. Your objectives this turn are: kill the archer, jump over the traps, and loot the chest. I want you to achieve both this round.
Right. Remember that short rests allow you to recover discarded cards to immediately use in this very turn. Yeah, the timing of short rest is interesting in this. Long resting, however, takes up the whole turn. Right. So, we do have a couple here. So if we short rest, there is a chance we'll burn something nice. And I would definitely want the Leaping Cleave back because it has the jump. Although this would be fun too, the Overwhelming Assault, because I could just shove the enemy into the traps and quote-unquote disarm it that way, right? Can I save, by the way? Probably not in these tutorial missions, right? So I'll do a short rest. Yes. It burns Overwhelming Assault. That's fine. So then I'll do Provoking Roar and Leaping Cleave. Sure. The archer goes at 68, which is way after me. So I can attack first, kill her, and then use my Leaping Cleave to jump on the chest. End the turn and grab some loot. Minor healing potion, that's neat. During your turn, perform a heal 3 self-action. Victory. Oh, I skipped some dialogue there. That's fine. Right, that was light on your feet. Because we jumped a bit. How many of those are there? 11? Okay. Attack modifiers. No, first don't get too close. It's all about knowing where to stand and finding the best spot in dungeons.
To be a successful guildmaster, you need to pay close attention to enemy actions and try to plan your moves around them. Just one simple objective for you this time. Don't get attacked. You'll have to start over if an enemy manages to land a hit.
Uh-oh.
You'll need to escape this room by opening the door in front of the brute. But remember that enemies in the next room will also get to act this round. My advice? Act quickly, looking carefully at what actions the enemies are going to take. I've set it up so that you should be able to find a safe place to stand, out of reach from all enemies.
Okay.
Let's see if you can survive.
So, we can't see their actions though, right? We can see how much movement they have, but their modifiers can theoretically modify this. So, these guys... How do I... like this? Can I? Yeah. So, they are melee fighters with 2 movement. So they can reach everywhere except... like... They can reach everywhere. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I need to go into the door. Also, this guy has a move of 2 and a range of 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I actually need to go one after the door, I suppose. So I want to do grab and go and provoking roar, I think, to go as early as possible. Okay. So they have a move 1. So they have -1 move and +1 attack or something, right? Range 3. So that's 4. Okay. So he has a move 1 and then 1, 2, 3. So it couldn't reach me in the door. 1, 2. So it would probably actually be enough to just straight up go into the door here. Confirm movement. Right. This guy has a 1, 2 move 2, so he can't reach me when I stay here as well. Right? Do I want to use the healing potion? I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Because I can't be attacked anyhow. Right, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Excellent. You eluded the enemies in both rooms. Opening a door will always add more enemies to deal with.
Yeah.
So make sure you're prepared for that when opening doors in future scenarios. Just one more round of bandit dodging to complete the mission.
Oh,
I
damn.
find it tricky to locate a safe space this time. Perhaps you could try preventing an attack to survive?
Right. Because I didn't actually need to use the grab and go there because I only moved two tiles. It would have actually been helpful to have it now. Well, oh, I do need to do a short rest now because I only have Leaping Cleave, right? So, yep. Burns grab and go. That's fine. We do have the provoking roar, which is nice. So yeah, I'll do it like this. 31 and 50 they're going at. So what I'll do is I'll 1, 2, 3 jump here and then disarm this guy. The other ones shouldn't be able to reach me. One, 2, 3. No, he can't shoot at me. Victory.
Excellent stuff. You're well on your way to becoming a professional.
Uh-huh.
And how about that disarm? Pretty powerful condition, eh?
Pretty neat.
That and a nice low initiative of 10 makes Provoking Roar a really nifty ability for getting out of nasty scrapes.
It is a nifty card, I agree.
One more test, and then I think you'll be ready to start exploring the world and recruiting mercenaries to our guild.
One more test, okay. So, stay hydrated. Thanks, game. I like when games give you real life advice like this. First time I remember a game doing this was Stronghold 1, I think. Which was like a castle building sim / strategy game from 15 years ago or so. Very fun game, by the way. Where when you were like playing for 2 hours or something, or I don't know actually what the time was, but something in that ballpark. The units in the game like started saying stuff like, "Oh, my lord, wouldn't it be a time to like actually stand up and go outside?" Kind of funny. Attack modifiers. Get acquainted with attack modifiers, how they work and how they will affect each and every one of your attacks. Ooh, more uncertainty added to the equation. I like it.
Let's talk about attack modifiers. So far in your training, characters have always drawn a +0 attack modifier, meaning their attacks have always dealt the exact damage value specified on the cards. This is not normally the case. In real scenarios, for each attack, the character will draw an attack modifier which influences the damage dealt. These can increase the damage by +1, +2, or ×2. Decrease by -1, -2, or ×0, or leave the value unaffected, as you've seen with a +0. You can see the contents of a character's modifier deck by hovering over any character. Note that unlike player characters, all monsters share a single attack modifier deck.
Which is very important to keep in mind, because later on, with some characters, you'll get the ability to put stuff into the enemy's deck. And it's important to remember that you can put stuff into an enemy character's attack modifier deck, and that will affect all enemy monsters, regardless of that character dying, for instance. Right, so we have +1, +2, ×2, -1, -2, or ×0.
For this training scenario, these archers have just 2 attack modifiers remaining in their decks, ×2 and ×0. We want them to draw the ×0 to deal no damage. We're going to give them disadvantage to ensure that.
Nice.
Ranged attacks have disadvantage when their target is on an adjacent hex. This forces the attacker to draw 2 modifier cards instead of just 1, and the worst result is selected. As these archers only have 2 modifiers remaining, if they attack with disadvantage, they will draw both, but be forced to choose the ×0 over the ×2 as the worst result, dealing no damage. You can see when disadvantage will apply from the flashing purple symbol next to the health bar.
The music's a bit too loud compared to the voiceover.
Only disadvantage 1 archer here, so kill the other with a ranged attack. Should be easy, as the brute's attack modifier deck is full of +1s for this mission. You can thank me later.
Okay.
Your objectives are: stand next to one of the archers to give her disadvantage, kill the other archer with a ranged attack.
Spelling it out very clearly here for us. So, this is actually very powerful, and it's not something you can do in the board game. It's where you can just hover over the enemy characters to see what modifiers remain in the enemy deck. I mean, I suppose theoretically you would know this in the board game too if you paid attention and counted all, and just remembered what attack modifiers were drawn already. But you don't usually do that, so you kind of always work with the uncertainty, I suppose, right? But here you very clearly spelled out what's remaining. We only have +1s, that's nice. So, yeah, the spare dagger with a +1 is enough to kill one of them. We also need this for the low initiative, I suppose. And then, how far do we want to move? 1, 2, 3. 3'd be enough to go next to this one. Sure. They go at 68, that's good. Attack 3, range 4, continue. So, this is actually quite the neat little introduction into strategy or tactics that they're giving us here, right? Where he's saying, yeah, pay attention to what attack modifiers they have left. And if they have only 2 left and there is like a ×0 still in there, disadvantage becomes extremely powerful. And also a very important concept in these kinds of turn-based strategy games is denying your opponent's attacks, right? And it's teaching us that very well too. So I really like how this scenario is done, or this tutorial is done so far. Like, either deny your enemy's attacks by not being in range, or by abusing their modifiers, or by killing them before they can go. Good job. So, oh, I would need to move first though, I suppose. To then be in range to do this. Confirm targets. Should draw +1 and killer.
See how she drew both the ×0 and ×2 modifiers?
Yep.
Disadvantage forced her to draw 2 attack modifiers and use the worst one. You also saw how your attack with spare dagger drew a +1, thus dealing 4 damage total to take down the other archer. Your final objectives are: kill the remaining archer.
Loot the chest too, huh?
Chest.
So I do need to do a short rest. Fine. So now we have the spare dagger and the grab and go. 31, that's close. Move 2, attack 2, range 3. Okay, continue. So I'm gonna move first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, that's still in range then, yeah. And the reason I'm moving first is because I have a ranged attack. And obviously I don't want to stand right next to her, because that would mean getting disadvantage. Although in this case, that wouldn't even matter, because I only have +1 modifiers left in my deck. But, you know, generally, it's a good idea to move out of the way first if you intend to use a ranged attack. Heater Shield, that's a neat one. When damaged by an attack, gain shield 1 for the attack. And it's rechargeable, if you will,
Nice.
through a long rest.
A heater shield should help you soak up some damage.
Yep.
You've finished your basic training missions. Time to introduce you to the other mercs and get you exploring.
Would be neat if our character's model would actually change depending on the gear we pick up. Maybe he will in the next mission, we'll see. Because we had this round wooden shield, and we picked up the triangular heater shield now. I am Brute. Nice reference there. The Brute is in a struggle against the living bones. Use everything you've got to make sure they stay dead for good. Oh, so this is not voiced now. Must be a feature of the beta. Let's begin by looking more closely at what each individual character can do. In this scenario, Brute has 2 level 1 living bone elites to deal with, which means their stats will be greater than their level 0 counterparts. Monster stats are combined with a base ability card drawn for the monster class's turn, resulting in the cards you see when the monster's cards for the round are revealed. So expect them to move a bit further and attack a bit harder, especially as they are elites. Wait, do they draw different modifiers then? I don't think so. Note how they both have an innate shield 1 effect, indicated by the shield icon. Each point of shield prevents 1 damage from incoming attacks. However, an amount of shield can be ignored if targeted with an attack with Pierce. I have it on good authority that these living bones are going to attack more than once each this turn. You're low on cards and won't be able to afford to burn any cards, so surviving here will require some shielding of your own. By the way, while these enemy shields are an innate, persistent effect, normally active bonuses granting abilities such as shield are accompanied by a round or persistent curation icon. Your objectives are: kill a living bones, not all. Using an attack with Pierce, apply some shield of your own. Use a minor healing potion. That should help you survive this round. Right. Also, why can't I use my healing potion right now? Can't I use them at any point during the round or only after my selection? So Shield Bash could be fun. Spare Dagger. Trample as a Pierce. It's probably a good idea to do Trample to kill this guy, because that's actually enough. And then do a Shield Bash to shield myself, right? And selection. So, right, so I can do the healing potion now, but only at my initiative step. That's interesting. So if they had gone before me, I couldn't have healed. Is that correct? Because I thought in the board game you could just use items like that whenever. During your turn, it says. Okay, I suppose. It doesn't really use up any of my actions though, so we'll do the trample. Confirm targets. I draw a +0 because I only have +0s in my deck. He has all kinds of things in his deck. Okay, I'll do the shield oneself. Also, I could use the heater shield potentially. Damage 2, but wait. So he actually had a damage. What did he draw? +1? Because he only has damage 2. Target one enemy with all attacks, so he attacks twice. But I can use my heater shield too, which gives me one. Receive 1 damage. Right. The second attack does 1 damage because he drew a +0. Wait, does he have 3 attacks? Yeah, target 3. Oh damn. Yikes, that was quite the onslaught. Yeah, so the elites actually have target 3, not target 2. Look at how many arms they have too. Or he has 1 extra arm, I suppose. Nonetheless, your shield prevented enough damage to keep Brute alive. Phew. That was a pretty useful shield. Final objective, kill the remaining living bones. Good luck, he's a tanky one. A tip for you, perhaps you could use the good old push and trap combo. Note that shield only prevents damage from attacks, but it doesn't do anything against direct damage, such as from traps. Right, so I do need to do a short rest anyhow. I think that's fine. On the next 6 sources of damage from attacks targeting you gain shield 1. But the push is nice, because I can actually push him into 2 traps. Oh, and that's enough, because they're damage 3. Shield bash, spare dagger. I could also stun him. But it's not even necessary. Attack 3, push 2. Yeah. He's going at 45. Move 4, attack 2, continue. So I'll do the attack 3, push 2. Only does 2 damage because of 1 shield. But now I get the second line, which is a push. Confirm. Nice. Yeah. Should do it. Victory! Save the brute yet again. I hear he's decided that adventuring alone is not working out for him, so he's agreed to be the first mercenary in your guild. Let's get out of this dusty crypt and see who else we can recruit. Also, we didn't get the heater shield on our model, which is a shame. A blade in the night. The scoundrel has 2 daggers and a lot of gold to loot, and she isn't planning on leaving anything behind. Meet the Scoundrel. Yeah, apparently a lot of this isn't voiced yet in the beta. I mean, the release is just 1 day away. I hope they have it all included then. But as it stands, I can voice this too. She's incredibly nimble and mobile, not to mention able to combo off huge amounts of melee damage when things line up just right. Let's help her out of this sticky situation. I played the Scoundrel for quite a while in the board game, and she's great fun. Firstly, you need to kill all 3 archers this round before they attack. You'll certainly need something that can hit more than 1 target at a time. So they all have 2 health, all kinds of modifiers, and I have 8 health and +0 modifiers. Oh, perfect. Throwing knives do 2 damage to 3 targets in range 3. 2 targets actually. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then... Oh, can I do a short rest right now? Because that would give me... Oh no, I want the upper half of throwing knives. How do I kill the third one? Oh, with a smoke bomb. By pulling him too into the trap. Beautiful. It's kinda neat. Like, smoke bomb is such a nice card. Wait. Confirm targets. Right, confirm pull. And I use Smoke Bomb quite a bit for its upper half in the board game, and that's great fun. Double the value of the attack after becoming invisible for a turn. But it's a burn card too, and I think I didn't actually use the pull enough, because that's like a super powerful ability to just pull 2 over a range of 3. Confirm targets. Bam. Ha! Feels good picking off multiple targets in a single turn, doesn't it? One last objective, loot at least 5 piles of gold this round. Tip for you, sometimes the top heart of a card allows you to move 2. Loot abilities pick up all the gold within the radius specified by the value, so you work out where you need to stand and get looting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're probably... Oh, I do have a loot too as well. So I could actually, you know, stand here and pick up 6 or something. But I do need to do a short rest. That's fine. Loot 2. So I would need to move with a top. Because I'm looting with a bottom. So... Because just now the loot 2 won't be enough, right? It'll just loot 3. So I need to move first. Skip attack, and then loot. Confirm action. Merchant? That's a new character. Nice. Just let me take care of that gold for you. For your assistance in this scenario, the Scoundrel has agreed to join the guild. That means we've got enough mercenaries now for a proper mission. Considering this is a beta, I'll be just 1 day away from publication. Everything's working pretty well, I gotta say. Master of the Elements. Spellweavers are a powerful race, yet but vulnerable in close combat. Learn how to use the elements to your advantage. Will do. Oh damn. Meet the Spellweaver, a powerful but fragile magic wielder who can harness the natural elements of the world. Good thing we found her when we did, there's a lot of bandits. To get her out of this mess, you'll need to harness the power of the elements infused in the battlefield. The elemental infusions display can be seen in the right of the screen, indicating which magical elements are available for consuming. In this scenario, the ice element is already infused, but elements are normally infused for 2 rounds through using actions with elemental symbols on them, available for consumption after the turn in which they are infused. This round you must consume the ice element to augment Freezing Nova's attack, killing as many bandits as you can. Survive the round by using a jump move to get out of reach. So we do have Freezing Nova. Spellweaver looks nice. What attack modifiers do we have? All kinds, really. As to the enemies. They're all bandit guards, it seems, with different amounts of health. We can do Ride the Wind, which has a very high range, but is also a burn card. How far south can I go? I mean, where can I go at all? Like behind this rock or something, right? Freezing Nova for sure. And then we gotta do Ride the Wind, I suppose. 50, move 3, attack 2. So we'll do Freezing Nova first. Attack 2, target all adjacent enemies. That's 6 of them right now, which is neat. Immobilize. Oh, that's cool. So I don't even need to move that far. Plus 1 attack if I have ice. Ice element strong. This element is available to be used for the rest of this round and the whole of the next round. Once used, it is unavailable for other characters. Or can I choose to not use it? I did not know that. Right. 2 of them survived. 3 of them survived, actually, but they are immobilized now. So I can only go to one of those. Let's go here. Wait. Or here. Confirm movement. Skip the rest and the turn. By consuming the ice element, Freezing Nova dealt 3 base damage instead of 2, knocking out 3 bandits, plus applying the immobilized condition so the bandits couldn't chase after you. Is pretty darn powerful, eh? It is. The immobilize was not due to the frost though, was it? Ride the Wind also infused the air element for you to use later if need be. You may have noticed, with only 3 unburnt cards remaining, the Spellweaver will be exhausted after the next round is over, as you cannot return burnt cards via resting. Fortunately, the Spellweaver has a very powerful trick up her sleeve. Many of her powerful cards may burn after usage, but the top half of Reviving Ether allows her to return all her burnt cards to her hand. Getting the timing right on this one-time recovery per scenario of all burnt cards is key to using Spellweaver well. It's up to you now. Kill the remaining bandit guards. Reviving Ether will recover all of your burnt cards, so you can finish these bandits off at your leisure. I do need to do a short rest though. Oh. No. Redraw. I take a damage, but I cannot burn Reviving Ether. Thank God I have a health to spare. So now I'll do this and this and my selection. They move at 55, which is after me, thankfully, but this guy can't reach me, this guy can't reach me, but this guy could reach me, so I better kill him. Wait, no. Oh yeah, I can kill him, actually, with Flame Strike. Right? And I want to do this too before I do Reviving Ether, because then I get... Oh, that card isn't burned though. Never mind. So these two should be too far away now to do anything to me, but they will strengthen themselves too. Which just means that their attacks next turn have advantage. Can I kill them both in one go? Maybe with Freezing Nova. If I move next to them. I can do Ride the Wind again. Fire Orbs. Fire Orbs works too. Mana Bolt. They go at 30. So I'll heal myself for 3, cause why not? And then I'll finish these guys off with Fire Orbs. ×2. -1. That was actually enough still. Victory. For helping her out of that bind, the Spellweaver has agreed to join our guild. As you saw, her abilities can be incredibly potent, but she can be a difficult character to work with due to the complexity of her tactics. So, how many tutorials do we have left now? I suppose they're getting longer too, because we have more characters now, right? Brain over Brawn, Heart of Stone, and Mind over Matter. Tinkerers are very resourceful creatures, but you can't get up too much while wounded. Or maybe it's just a one character scenario with a Tinkerer before we get to use all 4 in a scenario. Yeah. Meet the Tinkerer. He's a great support character to have on a team, but can also take on multiple enemies in a pinch. Looking at all those skeletons, I'd say this counts as one. Certainly he's wounded and will take 1 damage at the start of his turn, so you ought to heal him as soon as possible with that minor health potion. Looking at where the enemies in this room are, I'd advise you to go as late as possible this round. Sometimes it's better to go slow and let the enemies come to you. That's actually good advice. And again, this plays into the tactic of denying enemies their attack, right? As often as possible. So you aren't at risk of being attacked. Then you can use some of the Tinkerer's famous area of effect attacks to deal some serious damage to multiple enemies at once. You can recognize such abilities by the hex-shaped patterns on the ability card, showing you the shape of the area it will target. So we do have Energizing Tonic. Level 5, range 2. Toxic Bolt. Range 3, poison, attack 2. Attack 5. Ooh, Ink Bomb. Yeah. I want that. So... let's do this and this. And I want to go late, yeah. They go at 45, move 3, attack 1, target 2. They don't have range though, that's good. Come hither! Oh yes, I like it. Tinkerer is wounded. Wait, I do have 1 health, right? Is that correct? So I need to burn 1 available card. Why? Like, I couldn't use my potion before, could I? Did I mess it up? So that's just the 1. Oh, this is definitely interesting and different from the board game version. Because if you have a wound or a poison effect, then you don't actually get to use any points from any heal effect you get but the heal just gets rid of that effect. You may have noticed that if you use a heal ability when wounded, your character not only recovers hit points, but loses the wound condition. Yeah, it doesn't recover hit points in the board game. Healing can also remove a poison condition, but in that case, you will only remove the condition and regain no hit points. Oh, so there's a difference between wound and poison. Okay. So, I want to do range 2. 1, 2, 3. Like, how do I turn this though? Why can't I attack these 3? I mean, I can do these 3 too, I suppose. Right. Now there's like 3 left though. Which... do I even move closer? I do skip the attack because I don't want to burn Toxic Bolt. This Ink Bomb is pretty good. Did you know you can rotate the shape of an area of effect by pressing R? Ah, thanks for telling me. So... I messed it up now though, right? Because I'm exhausted if I short rest. And I don't have any cards left. That sucks. Defeat, yeah. So I need to... I can actually use my heal then, I suppose, before I even select cards. Can I? But how? Oh. Huh? That's weird. I don't get it. Because I needed to burn a card earlier. Oh! Okay. I think that display just messed me up a little bit. Because I thought I would be exhausted if I didn't burn a card, but actually... Right, because it already takes that life from you. I had 2, and now I have 1 because of the wound. So I can receive the damage without going... Yeah, because it looked like I might die if I don't. Because it was already displaying 1 health, and I thought I would lose another. So then I will do Ink Bomb. Confirm targets. Neat. Skip movement. Oh no. Damn it. I think I messed it up again. Damn, this is kind of embarrassing. Okay, let's do this again. Right. So, Ink Bomb, Energizing Tonic, and Selection. Continue. Don't forget to heal. Receive damage. Heal. Confirm. Ink Bomb. Confirm targets. This looks cool too. Like some kind of mortar. Skip movement. And Tinkerer's turn, and now I need to take a short rest. Energizing tonic, burning that is fine, because I want the net shooter back. Because that's range 3, attack 3. Attack that I can hopefully set off before it's the enemy's turn, yeah. And I need to rotate it now. Wait. Right, confirm targets. Also immobilizes them and gives me 3 XP, which is pretty neat. There we go. This little guy packs quite the punch, eh? Let's sign him up and look for some paid jobs for the guild to take on. So trainer as a Canadian, I suppose. A. Maybe the developers are too. Well, that took longer than it should have. Right, harder stone. 4 living bones surround the crack heart and the clock is ticking. Can you defeat them all in time? Oh, I suppose we don't actually get to use all 4 characters together in these tutorials. Instead we get a single scenario with a crack heart too. Meet everyone's favorite walking boulder, the Cragheart. You're badly outnumbered here and will need to employ some defensive tactics. Let's go over how Retaliate works and see how we can use that to help old Craggy out of this mess. Like Shield, Retaliate is an active bonus that can either last the round or be persistent, usually with a termination condition for the latter. While active, melee attackers will have damage inflicted upon them equal to the Retaliate value after each attack. Surrounded by this many living bones, a retaliation against any that attack equates to an incredible amount of damage, assuming you can survive the round, that is. And one last thing, note that Earth is infused already. Remember to click the Consume Earth icon on the card if you wish to use the element to power an ability. Opposing Strike. That's probably good. Do I want to create single hex obstacles? Maybe not. But I'm gonna do the avalanche anyhow. Yeah. So opposing strike and avalanche is what I'm gonna be using anyhow. Because if I... What are my modifiers? Well, everything really. If I clear these two, which I can if I draw +0 modifiers because I have 5 attack with the earth, then that will make room for these guys to get up to me and attack me too. And I don't get any retaliate though. Oh no, I get through this. Yeah, so perfect. Retaliate for 6 attacks, which 1, 2, 3, 4. And then avalanche. Use that for 1+1 attack. Attack these two, confirm targets. Come on, 2+1s, so they're both gone. Do I want to heal? Nah. Target one enemy with all attacks. Oh, so each of them actually attacks twice. Which... yeah, receive damage. Triggers the retaliate twice, of course, too. Why do I only... they have an attack 1. Oh. So their attack is reduced, but they attack more often. Well, that's a good trade-off if I have retaliate active. Receive 1 other damage. How many charges do I have left on the retaliate? I think just 2. You took a fair amount of damage. Well, 3. But that was a great result. A well-timed retaliate can be devastatingly powerful. By the way, you can see the active bonus from opposing strike is still well active. Just look at Craghart's portrait at the top of the screen. I don't see it. The little pips in the active bonus box show you at a glance how many instances remain, and you can check the effect text and XP yield by hovering over it. Did you notice the Living Bone shield didn't prevent any retaliate damage? Just like traps, retaliate damage is not explicitly an attack, and as such will deal exactly the amount it says it will, unaffected by shields, modifiers, and the like. Right, finish them bones off. I do need a short rest. Massive boulder can be burned, that's fine. Ooh, I have options now. That's lovely. So, target all adjacent enemies. All adjacent allies. That won't kill him though. I mean, it will together with the retaliate. Opposing strike. There we go. Unstable upheaval. Rumbling advance. Oh, I could do that. Crushing grasp. Then clod. Add target. Dirt tornado. Muddle. I think I want to do rumbling advance and then unstable upheaval. Upheaval? That might actually kill him. Sure. 64. Move 2, attack 2. But just one attack, I suppose. So I'll do the rumbling advance. Skip movement. Confirm action. I love the crack art. I can heal too. Sure, why not? And then I'll do the unstable upheaval. Okay, it doesn't quite kill them with +0 modifiers, but they should kill themselves now with my retaliates left. Oh, that's a lot of damage. I can take it though. Yep. I did it. Victory. Well done. That looked like an unmanageable situation at first, but as you saw, if you play your cards right, you can navigate even the trickiest situations. And as I said earlier, I think in the final version of this that releases tomorrow, a lot of those texts will be voiced. Because some of them were in the second and third scenario here. But we're still playing the early access beta release, which is live for one more day until the game releases tomorrow. So we're up to the last tutorial, Mind Over Matter, which also seems to be a one-character scenario featuring the... I don't actually know what this character is called. Why do all the fighting when you can summon someone or something to do it for you? Right, meet the final member of your starting roster, the Mind Thief. That's right, the Mind Thief. And that means after those tutorials we've played all the 6 starting characters available in Gloomhaven. There's lots more characters of course, but you need to unlock those through playing the campaign. They're basically tied to certain quests or story events, stuff like that. And these 6 that we've been playing are those that are available for the start. What she may lack in physical prowess... Oh, that's interesting actually, it's a she, because we were discussing that when we were playing the board game, my friends and I, whether the Mind Thief is a he or a she. Is made up for in her ability to control the actions of enemies and summon allies to the battlefield. Summons automatically act directly before the turn of their summoner, always performing a move X, attack Y action, where X and Y are their respective base stats, so they don't draw modifiers, I think. I don't know. As the Mind Thief was out hunting demons, you're about to face a more serious enemy, the Night Demon. These harrowing creatures have an inherent ability to give disadvantage to all attacks targeting them, making them often tricky to deal with. Perhaps you can try taking them down with a non-attack source of direct damage, like traps. For this round, summon an ally, kill a night demon. A top tip for you: enemies will prioritize your summon if you are at the same range. Use this to your advantage. Oh man, I gotta choose now. So I do only have +0 and a fail modifier, I suppose. And they have -1 and +0. There's 3 of them. The traps are damage 3. They have 3 health, 3 movement, and 3 attacks. So that's 1, 2. So they can't reach me right now. What do I have? I'm supposed to summon something, right? That's my only summon. Gnawing Horde. 6 health. That's quite a bit. But just move 1, attack 2, and poison. Interesting. So I think I want to go pretty late here, right? Because that means they get to go. They don't have range. And they move closer to me, so I can do an attack as well. Which attack do I want to go for? These augments are also interesting for the Mind Thief, because they affect all your following melee attacks. Add Muddle and Poison. Parasitic Influence. On your melee attacks, heal 2 self. Yeah, not right now, I don't think. +1 attack for each negative condition on the target. Do they have any negative conditions? I don't think so. This lower half of it could be interesting too for a later turn. Scurry could work, but it's just an attack 1. Loot 1, nah. Attack 4, there we go. I mean, that burns a card, but I think we have enough. Let's just do that. I mean, I could actually do that first, because it has a range 5, I suppose. Oh, they actually draw a 7. Move 4. So they have +1 move. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. And they make themselves invisible? Hot damn. This could get nasty right off the bat. I will receive the 2 damage. Also, hi everyone. Thanks for joining me for this Gloomhaven stream. So, wait. So did they all make themselves invisible? Or not? I don't get it. Oh, they need night energy for that. Right. Thank God they don't have that. So, what do I do now? So I think I'm gonna do this first. Attack 4. And I'm gonna choose one that's... Oh, it doesn't actually... Like, this is a ranged attack, right? And if I attack the one that's right next to me, I gain disadvantage. But I do have disadvantage anyways, because they're night demons. This flashing button shows me. So I don't get double disadvantage or whatever, it just stays the same. But usually you don't want to attack someone right next to you with a ranged attack if you can avoid it. I think I actually want to attack this one because I want to summon my dude there if I can. Or maybe I won't be able to because there's gonna be gold in that square. I don't know. Wait. So I drew... Where can I see my attack modifiers? Because I had disadvantage, as I would have had on any of them, I drew 2 and chose the worst one, and I drew a ×0 and +0, so I did 0 damage. That's kind of annoying. Also, I'm failing. The Gnawing Horde is an upper. Oh my god, okay. I think I might have messed this up already. Yeah, probably have. I mean, I can go here to just get attacked twice, but oh my god. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm usually better at this. Yeah. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so what did I say? Empathetic assault. No, I'm using a lower half, right? So maybe invisible self is actually not bad. Move to heal self is actually probably better. So just remember that the gnawing horde is actually an upper half. They go before me. Yeah, it seems like their initiative steps and everything are set for these scenarios, tutorial scenarios. They're not randomized. Which is good, because I know I get 2 damage here that I can heal. It also probably means I'll draw the ×0 attack modifier again. Which doesn't make any difference, because... what do I want to summon? Here, I suppose. Because I summoned this turn anyway. Right, and then I move and heal myself. Skip the rest of the movement, heal myself. And I have a nice little rat here that tanks some damage for me. Although your push ability card has been burned already, perhaps there's another way to force an enemy to move into a trap. Maybe there is, like Parasitic Influence, I think. Force one enemy within range 4 to perform move 1. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I could use either of them. What other card do I want to use? That's the lower half, so Scurry could work. Or just Withering Claw. That would activate the augment, but I can't really attack anything. Unless they come to me first. But I don't have any ranged attacks anyhow, so probably Scurry is the best bet. Yeah. Right, they go at 4. They have very low initiative values. They create night energy, or dark rather. Move 4, attack 2. They will mostly attack the spawn though, huh? One, 2, 3, 4. He'll go here, and then he'll prioritize the spawn again. Yeah, okay. So spawn draws the ×0 attack modifier, which is fine. Disadvantage against night demons, and then it's my turn. And knowing that they have like very low initiative and are probably gonna go before me, these night demons, I could have picked another attack than Scurry too, I suppose, but how much damage do these do? 3. So I guess I'll pick... I don't even know. Could pick this one and move him here. And then move forward one with Scurry. Do I want to move here? Don't think it matters. Why do I get 2 attack? What am I missing? Oh, they're poisoned from my spawn. I see. Still some things that I know from the board game, but that I still need to figure out in the interface here. Although this poison symbol is pretty obvious, I suppose. So next turn, I'll probably tank at least 1 attack myself, because they can kill my spawn if they go before me. What do we have? I could make myself invisible. Submissive Affliction. Force one enemy within range 5 to perform attack 2 targeting another enemy. That could work. As long as my spawn doesn't kill this one anyway. Which will happen if we go before them. Do I want to go very late? Or very early? I'll just do this, see what happens. They go at 22, right. So I go before them, which means the Plague Rats do 0 damage because... Oh, they draw times 0 again with their disadvantage. Okay. So in that case... Perform attack 2. So... One thing, if the Night Demons are attacking each other through my Submissive Affliction, do they get disadvantage too? I suppose so, right? But they only have... Oh, they don't have any attack modifiers left? I don't get it. So... Which one do I want? So I probably want this one to attack this one, right? The reason being... Wait. Confirm targets? Oh, I actually wanted to do it the other way around. I'm like... I didn't completely understand the interface there. Because then, with this attack, I could have still attacked this one. Just the standard attack, you know. I guess I'm gonna do the loot then. It's fine. Right, so he kills my spawn now, which is fine. Or my summon, rather. I do a short rest. I burn a Submissive Affliction. And then I have a 3 health enemy left. Oh! Fearsome Blade pushes him. That works out fine. So I move here. Which is good because even if I draw like a times 0 modifier on my attack now, the push into the trap will still kill him. Confirm action. Oh, we're still at the heal, okay. Because it's a 3 damage trap. And as we know, attack modifiers or shields or whatever don't actually apply to damage from traps. So he just dies. Nice! And that's the tutorials for you. I guess you too can consider yourself a Demon Slayer now, huh? Or was it Demon Hunter? Whatever, the point is, well done. Okay, so we've played all the tutorials now. I guess it's time to have a look at the actual campaign.